Broncos win the NFC West. The Broncos win the division, right? The Broncos' final 4 games are the Lions, the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Chargers. Actually, very similar to the Chiefs' final 4 games. Like we talked about earlier, I think that the Chiefs had the best chance of losing to the Bengals. Otherwise, I think the Chiefs beat the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Chargers, especially since the Chargers don't have Easton Stick, or they don't have Justin Herbert. And the Raiders, they're just a mess. Like, they couldn't score a point the other day. That was one of the most boring games I've ever watched in my life. You have, and that says something. We've seen a lot of really bad games lately. I mean, the Chargers were just involved in a 6-0 game against the Patriots. Almost every Patriots game is one of the most boring games you've ever watched in your life. Unfortunately, I feel sorry for you Patriots fans, but it is what it is. You know, you're going through a tough stretch. But the Broncos' remaining strength of schedule, they have the 26th most difficult. Okay? They're playing Detroit. I think they beat Detroit. They're stumbling. They're looking vulnerable. Denver, or New England, that's a sneaky game right there. Because New England, they have a strong defense. A very strong defense. They're good at stopping the run. They're good at stopping the pass. They're going to make your court. Although Russell Wilson has seen it all. I think the Patriots will give the Broncos a fuss on offense. Will the Broncos be able to adjust? I think that's what that game going to come down to. Can the Broncos adjust in the second half against the Patriots? They have the Raiders and the Chargers. They should beat the Raiders and the Chargers. Confident in them beating the Raiders and the Chargers. Beating Detroit, I'm pretty confident in them beating Detroit. Beating New England, I think that's that game that we could look back on and be like, damn. But this is a team that can stumble. They've been very good. I mean, Cortland Sutton has been a beast. So many one-handed touchdowns. Well, you know. But yeah, the Broncos. So as we were talking about their division and conference record, right? This is where they fall flat. Their conference record is 4-5 compared to the Chiefs 6-2. So even if they have the same record, say the Chiefs lose that one game, you know, the Broncos and them, they each won one matchup against each other. Chiefs won one, Broncos won one. If it comes on to the division record, I mean, the Chiefs are 3-1. And so you got to hope that the Chiefs lose to the Chargers or the Raiders, maybe. Or they just have a worse overall record, which they have a pretty easy remaining schedule, other than, will they lose to New England? Will they lose to Cincinnati? But they would still have a better division record, and I'm pretty sure when it comes to division, they look at the division record first. They look at the division record first. So, KC having a 3-1 division record, unless they lose to the Chargers or Raiders, the Chiefs will probably win the division. They're playing New England. That's an interesting matchup right there. Unless they slip up and they really can't get anything going against some of these other defenses. That'd be interesting. But Denver, 2-2 in the division, 4-5 in the conference. So the Chiefs are basically a game and a half ahead of the Broncos, I would say, because they have a better division record and they have a better conference record. They're actually they actually have 2 games ahead of the Broncos in the conference record, but the division record is the most important when you're talking about in division. But they're 1 game behind KC, and I don't know. I say no. I'm gonna go hot. No, I think I'm gonna go piping hot. Should I go hot or piping hot? Is it really? No, I'm not gonna say it's. I'm gonna go hot. I'm not gonna go piping because the Chiefs have been stumbling. They lost the last 2 games. I don't remember exactly what it is. Out of the last 4 or 5 or something like that. But they definitely have been struggling to get some wins out there. So it's not out of the realm and say you're absolutely crazy to say that the Broncos can possibly jump the Chiefs here at the end of the season. But a lot has to happen. The Chiefs have to lose, if they have the same record as the Broncos, they have to lose to either the Chargers or the Raiders. And, if that's not the case, the Broncos just have to have the better overall record, which means they have to lose 2 out of these last 4, and the remaining schedule is pretty favorable. But if you look at the matchup versus New England, that's an interesting matchup. I will say, they need the Chiefs to lose a divisional game, and to Las Vegas or Chargers. And hold up. But then if they, had the same division record, that's not going to count towards the conference record. And if the division record is the same, because they beat each other head to head, the division record is going to be the same. They're going to look to the conference, and then the Chiefs are going to win that, unless the Broncos legitimately have the better overall record.